What's up, YouTube? Good morning. Today is June the 7th, and welcome to today's episode of Almondito the Health Nut, home of unfinished books. I'm not gonna lie, when I started the summer, I had 2 or 3 that I wanted to get through, and I started all of them simultaneously. I spread myself too thin, and now they're just sitting there, mocking me that I haven't finished them. When I will finish them is a great question. Just got to chip away at them. But moral of the story, don't spread yourself too thin. Spread yourself too thin, instead of heading one direction, you're not making any progress and you're just running circles around yourself. You're trolling yourself. Good job. Played yourself. Anyways, today's show we'll be talking about finding your truth. I feel like this is a difficult topic because, you hear all around, be yourself, don't worry about what anybody else says, so on and so forth, when we are the product of everybody else, right? Everything is learned. That's what I'm trying to say. You are the product of experience and people. Even whenever we're kids, you pick up on habits from your parents picked up habits from their parents, which picked up habits from their parents and their friends, and so on and so forth, right? If you've seen the movie The Butterfly Effect, you kind of get what I'm saying. What you do at one moment could affect somebody else's life halfway around the world. A little bit exaggerated, but it's the same concept. So finding your truth is what I'm trying to say is find whichever qualities you're naturally pulled to. I heard on a Tony Robbins motivational video that, if you push for something that's not you, you push hard enough, sooner or later that willpower is going to give out. You don't have enough strength to push all damn day, but you can go to wherever you're pulled. There's a lot less energy in accepting where you are pulled versus what you're trying to push for, right? Life is always going to take the path of least resistance. And that could be applied to anything from biology to human nature. You don't have to try so hard. This is a difficult concept because you have to understand that we are the product of our environment and we are the product of our culture. For example, the Hispanic culture, right? Manly man, machismo, that's just something you carry on you have to carry on yourself. That's a widely accepted character trait to have. It's that you have to be a man's man and don't show emotion and so on and so forth. And even beyond the Hispanic culture, even today society, where emotions are seen as weak and it's the first one who shows emotion is the one that loses. But that's besides the point. I'm kind of going off topic. Sorry, just looking at some notes. You have to be comfortable with yourself and what your strengths and what your weaknesses are. As objectively as you can, talk about what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. For example, I like music. I've always been around music, band person, whatever. But my friends excel in it a little better than I do, a lot better than I do. What they can do with music, I didn't have the discipline to put forth, or I didn't have the discipline to try as hard. And I accept that. I've made peace with that, and it's no biggie to me because there are things about me that I do better than them. So on and so forth, right? It was Jim Carrey that advocates the effect we have on other people is the most valuable currency that we have. Money aside, cars aside, houses aside, what you do to others is the most valuable impression you have of yourself. So when you're long gone and you're all alone in the grave, what did you do for the world that's going to leave your footprint? And this goes beyond saying it's not about being known. I'm not trying to put my name on a stamp, as in the Mondo rule or the Mondo philosophy or whatever. But there are certain qualities, certain traits that you pass on to others that, if productive enough, will contribute to the betterment of the community. So Identify your strengths, identify your weaknesses. What are you good at? What are you not good at? And what you are good at, you naturally gravitate towards. You don't try and be something you're not. If something feels right, then do it. If you're trying to live somebody else's life, then you're doing nothing but spreading their influence. And that takes away from who you could be and what you could be doing. For example, another example, I like speaking. I like doing this. I like talking about emotions. I like feelings and all that stuff that people cringe at. But that's me. I've always had a knack. I've always had a natural attraction to that and figuring out how the soul works, how the spirit functions. That's always been me. So it would not be logical if I didn't try and pursue that avenue to some degree. That's why I'm involved in the activities that I'm involved in. That's why I'm a little tumbling coach right now. That's why I'm a personal trainer at the Tamik Rec Center. I like that coaching aspect. I like the aspect of being in service of people. Like I mentioned, I think it was in the first episode, right? I'm in the business of people. I am in the service of people. That's my strength. You have to identify what your strength is. Is it communication? Is it art? Are you an artist? Can you paint? Are you a musician? Are you good with numbers? Do you like math? Do you like science? So on and so forth. What are you naturally drawn towards? Don't build yourself into. You do. Granted, okay, you do want to build your weaknesses up, right? Well round yourself, but there is no template for how you can change the world. You like that? Yeah. There is no template for how you can change the world, right? Justin Timberlake sings like Justin Timberlake the best, right? You will never sing as good as Justin Timberlake the way he sings like himself. You will never be a better Oprah than Oprah is. You will never be a better Bill Gates than Bill Gates is. They've worked on their strengths and their weaknesses, and that's their footprint. What's your footprint? What are you trying to do? What can you do? I worked my way to be decent at chemistry this year, but that doesn't mean I'm going to follow chemistry my entire life. That's a weakness I worked on, but what I gravitate towards is communication, is working with you, hearing what y'all have to say, and talking and listening to y'all. That's me. That's my footprint. That's what I'm going to choose to do. I feel that's my best avenue. So what is your best avenue? And that's hard because it takes some acceptance of who you are versus who you wish you were. You have to accept yourself in all your glory, right? Because there's nobody else on the planet like you. Although that's a cliche, your interests come together in a unique fashion that only you understand and only you can work with. Because at the end of the day, when you're 6 feet under and you're in the grave, nobody else is in the coffin with you. It's just you. It is lonely down there. If you have to spend the rest of your life with yourself first. So you might as well like yourself. And I don't mean to put it in that dark of light, but it's true. Accept yourself in all your glory for what you're good at and what you're not good at. I am okay at singing. I am horrendous at math. I am decently athletic. I'm trying to think of other weaknesses I have. I do have some, but I'm not trying to put much thought into them. Acknowledge your weaknesses. Don't gravitate towards them. Don't beat yourself up for it, because for one thing you're bad at, you're good at 2 more things. And those 2 things are where you should focus your attention. Master one thing. Master something. Right? Do so many projects, you'll be average at all of them. Kind of like me and all these books. I try to read too many books, and I'm not making any progress. Where I should hone in on one. Take my own advice. Where I should hone in on one, finish it, move on to the next. Find one strength, work on it, and then move on to another one, and work on your strengths, and work on your strengths until nobody can compete with you on your strengths. Because the world will come to you. If you work on yourself enough, and if you build your template up, your footprint, the world will gravitate towards you. If you look at all the pioneers and everything from music to cinema to science, they were themselves, and granted, they had mentors and they had people help build them up. It was ultimately them who we remember. We remember Albert Einstein for what he did. We remember the Beatles because they were the Beatles and they shook up the world. Granted, I don't really listen to the Beatles, but whatever. I'm just trying to make a point. People that stand out are remembered. If you want to be remembered, if you want to leave a valuable footprint, you have to be yourself in all your glory and all that comes with you. This is your package. This is all that you're given. So work with it. Work with it and make it better. How can you do that in today's life? What can you do? Find a strength and hone in on that for today. Or the week or whatever. If you know one of your strengths is marketing, go sell something. Go work on those marketing skills. If you're good at communication, make the most of communication. If I can't think, there's so many things. There's so many things to be good at, and there's so many things that you are good at. So go be good at those things, okay? Thank you for watching today's episode. If y'all want to see me talk about anything, go ahead and message me. Facebook, comment below, so on and so forth. Please subscribe. Let's get the word out there. Again, I work for you. This is me talking. My 2 cents isn't gospel, but if you like what I have to say, then keep listening. By all means, I appreciate it. Go on. Go make the world a better place. Go put your footprint in. Go find your template. Go execute. Yeah, have a good day.